You poured your coffee this morning, stood at the counter for a moment, and ran a quiet check on yourself. How did I sleep? Are my knees going to cooperate? Am I still okay? Not sick, just still sharp, still steady, still the person my family does not have to worry about yet. That question is less about luck than you think, and far more about 6 specific things that people who age most remarkably well are quietly doing every single day. One of them almost never comes up at a checkup. By the end of this video, you will know exactly what it is and how to start it tomorrow morning. I would love for you to subscribe to Doctor's Plain English. Every week, I translate real research into language that respects your intelligence and your time. No alarm bells, no miracle claims. One click and you will not miss a thing. I am Dr. Hannah Fields. In 20 years of clinical medicine, the patients who taught me the most about aging well are not the ones who avoided every hard thing. They are the ones who stayed in the game in very specific ways, long after most people quietly stepped back. The 75 to 85 window is genuinely different from every decade before it, not because the body is giving up, but because the margin for passivity shrinks. The Rush Memory and Aging Project, a long-running study from Rush University Medical Center tracking adults into their late 80s, found that lifestyle behaviors, not genetics alone, accounted for the majority of variance in who maintained independence and who lost it. What you do every day matters more than most people realize. I think of a patient I will call Miriam. Her story reflects a pattern I see often. Miriam was 81 when her daughter brought her in. Former English teacher, still sharp on paper, still did the crossword every morning. But over the previous year, she had gotten quieter, more likely to say, "I would rather just stay home." Her labs were fine. On paper, nothing was wrong. But Miriam knew something had shifted, and she could not name it. Here are the 6 habits. Number 6. Deliberate hydration. Timed, not casual. After 75, your body's thirst signals become significantly less reliable. You can be genuinely underhydrated and feel nothing unusual. A study in the European Journal of Nutrition, examining adults over 70, found that consistent daily hydration above 1.8 liters was associated with lower fall rates, fewer urinary tract infections, and better short-term memory scores. The habit exceptional agers share is drinking 12 to 16 ounces of water first thing every morning, before coffee, before anything. Overnight fluid loss in older adults is typically greater than in midlife, and you are starting every day behind if you do not address it immediately. Talk to your doctor about this, particularly if you are on blood pressure or heart medications. Miriam had been starting every morning with coffee and nothing else. That was the first small thing we changed. Number 5. Resistance-based movement, twice a week. This does not mean a gym. It means any movement that asks your muscles to work against a force, a resistance band, a wall push-up, standing from a chair without using your hands 10 times in a row. A Tufts University study following adults between 75 and 85 found substantial improvements in leg strength, balance, and insulin sensitivity after just 10 weeks of twice-weekly resistance training. Muscle at this age is not vanity. It is the physical infrastructure of independence. 2 sessions a week, 20 to 30 minutes, focused on your legs, hips, and back. Number 4. A consistent sleep schedule, same time, every night. After 75, the deepest phase of sleep decreases substantially. A University of California, Berkeley study found that adults over 70 with disrupted sleep patterns showed higher accumulation of amyloid plaques, protein deposits associated with Alzheimer's disease, than those with regular schedules. Holding your bedtime within the same 30-minute window every night, keeping your bedroom between 65 and 68 degrees Fahrenheit, and turning screens off 60 minutes before bed all support meaningfully deeper sleep. If you have significant ongoing sleep difficulties, please talk with your doctor. Real, evidence-based options exist. Number 3. Protein, distributed across 3 meals, not loaded at dinner. After 75, your body requires more protein per pound of body weight than a healthy 30-year-old, not less, because aging muscle cells become less responsive to protein signals. Research in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition examining adults between 70 and 85 found that those who spread adequate protein across 3 meals maintained significantly more muscle mass and had lower rates of fall-related hospitalization. 25 to 35 grams per meal, roughly 4 to 5 ounces of chicken, fish, eggs, Greek yogurt, or legumes. If you have kidney considerations, speak with your physician first. Miriam was eating almost all her protein at dinner. We shifted that pattern, and within 2 months she told me her afternoon fatigue had dropped noticeably. Of these 6 habits, which one did you hear and immediately think, I already do that, and which one made you think, I have not done that in a long time? Leave both answers in the comments. I read every single one. Number 2. Daily intentional social engagement. A Brigham Young University analysis of over 300,000 adults found that chronic social isolation carries a mortality risk comparable to smoking 15 cigarettes per day. The National Institute on Aging has found that loneliness is associated with significantly accelerated cognitive decline and elevated inflammatory markers that damage cardiovascular and neural tissue over time. One genuinely engaged interaction every single day, a real conversation, real back and forth, a phone call where you are truly present, a community group, a walking partner. Passive television in the same room as someone else does not provide the same benefit. You need the actual engagement. Miriam joined a Tuesday afternoon reading group at her local library. She almost talked herself out of going the first time. She went anyway. Number 1. Daily purposeful new learning. Not review, but genuine beginning. Crossword puzzles have real value, but they activate pathways you have already built. What the research identifies as most powerful is learning something your brain has never done before, a language, a musical instrument, a craft you have never tried. The University of Edinburgh's Lothian Birth Cohort Study, following adults from their 70s into their late 80s, found that those who engaged in novel demanding cognitive activity for at least 30 minutes daily showed slower brain atrophy, better memory, and were significantly less likely to receive a dementia diagnosis over the following decade. After 75, your brain naturally favors familiar pathways. Building new ones costs metabolic energy. But neuroplasticity never disappears entirely. It only fires when given real resistance. The productive discomfort of being a genuine beginner is where the neurological benefit lives. Miriam chose watercolor painting. She told me she was terrible at it and laughed when she said it, the first real laugh I had heard from her. 8 months later, her cognitive scores had improved in 2 measured domains, not held steady, improved, at 81. Think of these 6 habits as your active reserve protocol. Hydration maintains the delivery system. Resistance movement maintains the structure. Consistent sleep maintains the repair cycle. Distributed protein provides the raw materials. Social engagement keeps the neural network alive. New learning keeps the whole system building rather than just holding. Tonight, write down one skill you have always wanted to learn. Tomorrow morning, spend 15 minutes actually beginning it, not watching someone else do it, beginning it yourself. That one action is where everything starts. Thank you for being here today. If this landed for you, share it with one person in this season of life. Subscribe to Doctors Plain English for honest, research-grounded health information every single week. And tell me in the comments, what skill did you just write down? I will be reading every answer. Everything I have shared today is for general informational purposes, based on real research and clinical patterns I see often. It is not a diagnosis, and it is not a substitute for your own doctor, who knows your specific history. Please check with your physician before making any changes to your medications, diet, or health routine.